Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about distraction and the very apparent reality that we are actually constantly distracting ourselves. The human race nowadays, I find we have become extremely malleable as a result of social media and social media trends, how they're constantly evolving to feed this like starvation for gratification, for these kind of addictions that we have to being stimulated constantly, like moment after moment. And because of this, we've, as a civilization, we have actually moved ourselves a very long way away from contentedness with minimalism, contentedness with presence, and contentedness with the mundane. It's actually something that's very obvious to me now, and something that I'm unlearning as well. I'm not perfect. I too noticed that even with small tiny details of things that I didn't even think were distractions, distracting me from the present moment. Things like needing to have a plan for my entire day, having things lined up to do, to occupy myself, to stimulate myself for the day. These are things that are habits that I notice that I have or I've had, and I don't know, I kind of just arrived at a point slowly. Well, I become really frustrated within myself because I started asking this question: how do I know that I'm really appreciating this present moment? How do I know that I'm completely and fully present? And I've done some research, and I asked some people along my travels this very same question, and I've had a plethora of responses, but all of us have kind of arrived at a similar like stump of, well, I don't know. I can say it's when you're not thinking about the future and you're not thinking about the past, you're just in it. It's a sort of feeling that you have in your body, or it's as simple as, not needing to do or be anything. It's just you and the moment, and it just passes you by. So this is a question that I'm still unraveling. I'm on a path of trying to be present and need less and less to be stimulated to find fulfillment in my life. A question that I really want to pose to you, to get you thinking, is what does it mean to you to really be present without being caught up in the future or lost in your past, to really embrace and absorb the environment that you're in? How long, and with that, an extension of this question is, how long can you rest or focus on simply just one thing? How long can you do that without commencing your thought processes into, okay, what are we going to do next? Okay, what's going to happen after this moment? Oh, I remember, and then getting lost in a sea of your memories or contemplations. How long can we really rest in observance? Yeah, I just want to pose that to you because I'm posing it to myself. I have been posing it to myself lately when I catch myself caught up in my thoughts, bringing myself back to the question of, all of that is in a universe that doesn't really exist. It's not a tangible universe that exists. It's in my mind. It kind of blurred myself from where I actually am. I think it's a real gift, it's a real power when you can access awareness, when you can, I hesitate to use the word manipulate, but manipulate your awareness in accordance to your will. So for me, what this looks like is, okay, so I passed about 30 minutes before filming this, watching the trees, and without music, without sound, without my phone, without a book. It was just me and these trees, and it was kind of a series of intervals of, okay, my contemplations, thinking about things that are currently on my mind, and then returning back. Okay, it's time to notice these trees. It's time to notice the leaves and the wind, how it passes through the branches and moves things, and hearing the birds and being present. And then after a certain amount of time, back into my thoughts. And it's unwilling when this happens. But the thing that I love about this activity, this exercise, is it's really a practice of awareness. It's really a practice of realizing that your consciousness has shifted into a fictitious universe. Your consciousness has become engaged with things that are not real, and then coming back. Thinking about people who meditate and take this practice very seriously, and can stay in a meditative state for a very long time. That is something that I consider a real fucking power of discipline. You know, our attention span has become so depleted and short that it's necessary to find the next thing, the next short hit of something that will give us that feeling of gratification, that feeling of, well, it's dopamine, it's like an addiction to stimulation, in a way. So I've been trying to objectively observe the actual world around me without trying to beautify it or elevate its relative importance by making it into a metaphor, by, you know, trying to give it more meaning. This mundane thing that in its mundanity is in itself beautiful. Elevating your ability to appreciate simple, unmaterialistic, sustainable things is such a power that will give your life the meaning that we are all searching to attach to it. You won't need these distractions. You won't need these things to constantly give you that injection of dopamine and good feelings. When you wake up and realize that every single thing around you in its intricate complexity is something to appreciate. It is the difference between being alive and being dead, is having awareness and feeling. So we don't actually need, for example, music playing all of the time, the perfect playlist for this moment, because you know, something that I realized, because I was doing this. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm some guru who can exist day to day without being stimulated. I'm also a slave to our society. I'm a slave to my brain. I'm a slave to stimulation as well. And this is something that I'm trying to, you know, nurture my way out of. It was like an additionary product that I've been attuned to believing that it's necessary to constantly try and elevate good feeling, an already existing good feeling like appreciation or gratitude, to get this like maximal feeling of elatedness, you know? It's unrealistic and it's really unsustainable. I really don't want this in my life, to have the need to be stimulated by something all of the time, because it's exhausting. I wrote a poem about it recently, how having a consciousness that is constantly perceiving and categorizing its environment actually tires me a lot. There is a really large part of me now that screams to allow yourself to sit and observe trees. I tell my friend Lena about how I really want a hobby of mine to become tree watching in the same way that people bird watch or whatever. By watching this, you clearly have a curiosity in how stimulation and distractions play a role in your life. So in addition to you having this curiosity, I will pose to you an invitation to begin by spending a day noticing how many stimulus you insert into your daily life to make it pass. Consider taking time to do nothing, to do really mundane things without stimulation, and by way of noticing, by way of observing these moments, you will find yourself, I know, eventually you will find yourself appreciating mundaneness to its fullness in a way that you kind of will like crave it and crave to not be stimulated. I don't know, so just slow down. Slow down a little bit and observe the world around you, and allow this observance to shake you a bit, to shake you out of your current routine of needing something to stimulate you 24/7. And I think that I will leave it at that. Thank you once again for listening to me talk about some stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope that maybe it provoked you in thinking about the way that you're living your own life. And let me know your thoughts about this topic, your thoughts about stimulation, about distraction. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you again for listening to me and my little rambles. And we will see each other again very soon. Bye!